Charles Monroe Schulz was an American cartoonist from the Twin Cities of Minnesota. He created one of the most popular and memorable comic strips in America, Peanuts. Charles Schulz was extremely memorable because of the way he was as a person and because of his funny and sometimes powerful cartoons. His creative influence can still be seen today. Charles Schulz was born in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and grew up in St. Paul, Minnesota. His love of drawing began early in his life with pictures he drew of his family's dog, Spike, who slightly resembles Schulz's most popular creation, Snoopy. Spike loved to eat unusual things, such as pins and tacks. Charles Schulz drew a picture of his dog and sent it to Ripley's Believe It or Not with the captions, "A hunting dog that eats pins, tacks, and razor blades is owned by C.F. Schulz, St. Paul, Minnesota," and "Drawn by Sparky." C.F. Schulz is his father, Carl Fred Schulz, and Sparky is the nickname Charles's uncle gave to him while Charles was young, after a horse named Sparkplug in a comic strip called Barney Google by Billy DeBeck. Charles Schulz's huge success did not come overnight. His first published comics, Lil Folks, lasted only 3 years, from 1947 to 1950. It had a few similarities with the Peanuts comics we all know and love, such as a character named Charlie Brown and a dog that looks very similar to Snoopy. In 1948, Schulz sold a cartoon to the Saturday Evening Post, the first out of 17 that would eventually be published there. In October 1950, the cartoon Peanuts was born, and it very quickly became one of the most popular comic strips of all time. A lot of Schulz's inspiration for Peanuts came from his own life. Like Charlie Brown, the main character in Peanuts, Charles Schulz was a shy, withdrawn child. The dog, Snoopy, was most likely inspired by Schulz's dog, Spike, though while Snoopy is a beagle, Spike was a pointer. There was also a character in Peanuts named Spike, who was Snoopy's brother. The little red-haired girl, who remained an unseen character in the comic strips but is visible on a few television specials, is said to be inspired by a woman named Donna Mae Johnson, a woman Schulz fell in love with, but she turned down his proposal so she could marry another man. Peppermint Patty was based off one of his cousins, Patricia Swanson. Shermie was based off of a friend of his named Sherman Pleplar, and Linus was based off of a friend named Linus Maurer. Linus Maurer is from Sleepy Eye, Minnesota, and there is a statue of the Peanuts character named in his honor outside of the Sleepy Eye Library, holding a heart that says, "I love Sleepy Eye." Charles Schulz had many tributes for his works. There is a Peanuts on Parade in St. Paul, Minnesota, which began in 2000 with statues of Snoopy throughout the city. Over the next 4 summers, different characters were placed on the sidewalks. These statues were auctioned off for fundraisers, and some still remain in the parks. In 1962, Schulz received the National Cartoonist Society's Humor Comic Strip Award for Peanuts. He was the only person to win the Reuben Award twice. Because he was a hockey fan, he created the first Snoopy's Senior World Hockey Tournament in 1975 and was awarded the Lester Patrick's Trophy for outstanding contributions to the sport of hockey in the United States. In Santa Rosa, California, the home of the Charles M. Schulz Museum, the 60th anniversary of the strip was recently celebrated in 2010. Charles Schulz has become a favorite comic strip writer across America. These famous strips have also been turned into video cartoons for children to watch. These videos have become favorites among children. His comics are still being printed today, even though Charles Schulz died in 2000, meaning there are no more to be made.